Yeah, I hope everyone is as ready as usual. eh? Okay, so yesterday we began looking into some modules or libraries that are used in data science. We saw NumPy, which is numerical Python, and we saw Pandas, which is used for reading and analyzing data in form of what we called a data frames, right? We saw how you can analyze. We have a big notebook, okay? So all that notebook, everything is there. You can read and run. All the codes are running, plus the explanation. Okay, for each line of code, what it does. Okay. You'll excuse me today. I have a lot of flu, so I might I might not have the enough energy. Okay, but I'll try. Yeah, sorry, I okay. So
Have you shared your screen? We can't see it.
no, not yet. Not
Okay.
yet. I haven't shared it yet.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. Mm.
Yeah, I'm trying to open up my VS Code and connecting to the data. Meanwhile, you can open up your VS Codes. Okay. Then I'll show you. Today, of course, we will look into the other notebook where we left off on visualization, but mostly it's I'll first show you basically how you, in a typical data analytics day-to-day job, what happens when you first start as a data analyst. Maybe you're an intern or you've started a full-time job. Okay, so for the notebook, we'll pass through it, but the remaining code was just visualization, and visualization is very important, but rarely, unless you're doing reports with Matplotlib. Maybe you're doing reports and you have uh, you have the reports and you download the graphs. Okay, but there are other tools that are specialized in developing dashboards and sharing them. Okay, with Matplotlib, you can. It's just for your development. When you're developing or when you're doing the analysis, it helps you to do exploratory data analysis, like we said yesterday. It helps you understand trends in your data, all that. But in a typical work environment, when you're going to report, yeah, you can report the matplot graphs. You take screenshots or you download them and share in reports. But when you're building an interactive dashboard, you use some other tools. such as Power BI. Also, Python has others like Plotly, which can help you deploy the dashboards and share them with other people. Okay, so we won't spend a lot of time in that. We'll be running through the codes and maybe understand, looking into how it helps you with data analysis. Okay, I don't know what's happening with my computer. Oh, okay, it's finally worked. Yeah, so hello. Yeah, sorry, I accidentally got out of the call. I was telling you, I don't know where I left off because I was just talking without realizing that I was off the call. But I was saying today we are going to look into uh, the other notebook that we had yesterday. But what was remaining is basically the visualization part using Matplotlib. So usually Matplotlib is best suited for development purposes when you're when you're analyzing the data, doing what we called yesterday exploratory or even explanatory data analysis. They call it EDA. So it just visualizes, we'll see. You can as well do the reports if you're in school. You do the reports and take screenshots or save the reports, the graphs, and put them in a PDF or Word document, right? But at work, unless you need to do just the reports, but if you want to share the dashboards with others, there are other tools that are specialized in that, okay? There is Power BI, which you will learn. There are other things, not necessarily Power BI, especially when you're a data analyst and you're dealing with databases and Python. There are other things that can help you visualize. All those things, all those tools depend on what the company uses or your choice, okay? So for those, you don't necessarily need to learn them in class. It depends on the context of your work, right? But there are tools out there, okay, which are very good, including Power BI. So you learn Power BI is because Power BI is widely used in industry and even some some data analysts, uh, for some companies who do not have big data, they usually use Power BI for everything, including analysis. But its main role is basically visualizing. Okay, so I'm going to show you what happens when you enter when you do an internship or start your job as a data analyst in a typical data analysis job. I'm saying typical because, I was saying yesterday, when someone asked about difference between a data scientist and a data analyst, some companies, when you apply for a data analyst job, a data scientist job, and you work as a data analyst. Okay. Others, you apply for a data analyst job, you end up becoming a data engineer, depending on the size and the data maturity of the company. Okay. As I promised today, I don't want to give you a lot of push-ups. You've done enough. Okay. And let's congratulate ourselves, please. Colette, you've worked hard. Gael, Daniela, Fiona is she around? No? Kevin, and others. Because maybe some people had problems completing the course, right? Yeah, especially when you're a beginner and you see codes. But in these years, you have AI. Eh? I didn't take you into AI. Why? Gave you hard work and you did heavy push-ups. But with AI, it will be very easy. And when you're a data analyst, you don't need to take a course in AI to know how to use AI. You guys are experts. You can go to ChatGPT, okay, and just you write a query, and then it gives you what you want. But I didn't want to show you that, hey, this is AI, you can do this, because most of us already use ChatGPT. But when you're learning, to be honest, it's not good to just go to AI. You end up missing out the key concepts. So the approach was, let's do the hard push-ups, and when you understand the basics, you can always use AI, because AI, to be honest, sometimes you can write code and then you don't understand what you're doing. Maybe it has a logical error. You remember logical errors, it gives you the output, but you cannot tell whether that output is correct or wrong. Okay, just because you do not have error in codes doesn't mean that it's correct. And sometimes AI misses that unless you understand what you're doing. You remember the loops, eh? Yeah. Also, when you understand it, you understand the concept, you can easily pass interviews, right? You can easily pass interviews. Okay. So that is the importance of doing the push-ups. We all know we can use AI, but push-ups help you understand concepts to avoid errors, logical errors, okay, in coding, and also to understand so that you can pass interviews easily. When you explain a concept, when you go to an interview and explain a concept well, there is no need of making you write the code, because they know AI will do it for you, or you will collaborate with it. But if you do not understand the concepts, they cannot give you a job. I'm being honest with you. They cannot give you a job, because you don't understand anything, you use AI, and it just confuses you. But if you understand the concept, and maybe you do not you forgot about these functions. For instance, if I want to join, how do I do join? You don't remember the whole syntax. It's okay, AI can give it to you, but you need to understand that if it does a left join, what is it doing? Is it what I want? What if it does an inner join? Huh? In most cases, when you do an inner join, you lose a lot of data. I hope you remember that. So you need to understand, when I'm doing an inner join, what am I doing? AI can give you that. It gives you the report. And once you report that to someone who has spent 10 years in that organization, they'll tell you you're reporting 1,000 clinics, but I'm sure we have 10,000 clinics. Where are the others? And you get embarrassed because AI did what? It did an inner join, yet you wanted a left join. You understand? Okay. So now, congratulations. And also from today, you can use AI with writing queries and Python, but at least you understand. Eh? If you didn't understand something, you can also use AI to make sure you understand it. Okay. But not at work, like when you're learning and, So the most important thing is to understand the basics. Okay. So let me share my screen. As I told you, I won't have all the energy today. You can hear that I'm struggling with flu, but it's okay. Okay, so let's go back to our data analyst life cycle. Yesterday, you saw we said when you're a data analyst, you deal with data from certain sources. Okay, most of them are databases, others are Excel files. Files which are very messed up, very messy. Okay, Excel files, in most cases, these are messy. Excel files are messy. Okay, and on top of that, on top of that, they are also heavy. They are also heavy. Okay, why are they heavy? Because they allow formatting. You can add colors, you can highlight things, you know. So all that, when you highlight, you are adding something to the computer memory. So they are heavy, but
Sorry, Mr.
safe.
Ben.
Yes,
Can you share the full screen?
yes, I shared the full screen. You cannot see the screen I'm working with.
Okay, I can only see a small screen run.
What's happening? Let me reshare. Can you see where I'm drawing?
Yes, I can see it now. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was saying you get sources. So these are data sources. Okay. These are data sources. Okay. In most cases, in our small companies, you deal with Excel files. These are Excel files. You find the finance department, that's what they record their financial records in an Excel file, which is very messy, I tell you. Which is very messy and very unformatted. Okay. So what you do, you use pandas. Mostly you use pandas, the one we saw yesterday. You remember I had headers. Pandas can clean your data well. If you have headers, if you have so many sheets, you can read them. Okay. Yeah. By the way, I forgot to show you how you can read many sheets today. I will I will show you how you read sheet by sheet. It's very simple. Just adding a parameter. Okay. Today there is no hard work. We are just follow and you will see any other thing, I will allow you to use AI, but first, please understand how you work as a data analyst, okay? All the other things you can use AI from today, okay? So if you go for an interview or you're at work, just expect, they can ask you, you are a data analyst, tell us what do you do as a data analyst? What you tell them is you get data from the database, and this is called upstream. These are upstream sources, okay? As I said yesterday, this is upstream, okay? So you would say, I get data from maybe your sources, which could be a database, and you explain what kind of files are they, uh, depending on the type of data, okay? Data types, we have so many data types depending on what the company produces, okay? Is it a website data that is dumped into a database? In what format? Okay, you need to understand the format of the data. Is it JSON? Is it so that maybe we need to share? Let me share with you a link of different data formats because it's important. You can you can read through it. Okay, you can see we have CSV, we have JSON, XML, TXT. And for big data, you usually use either Packet or Avro, but for now, you don't need to know about this. But when like companies like Facebook, who have a lot of data, they store them in Packet. It is for best for fast analytics and big data, but it's good to know all these, okay? Yeah. So you can say, depending on the data format, depending on the data they store, you get data from the database, okay? Let me first share with you this screen, sorry. Okay. I also share it they'll share with you in the WhatsApp group. Okay. So as a data analyst, you get data from different data sources. Then you analyze them. And how do you analyze them? You can say, I get them from, if it is a database, you can say, maybe for us, we used MySQL. Okay. Okay. We use MySQL, but there are so many other databases. But all of them, don't be scared, all of them use SQL. Okay? So once you know SQL, you can just do what? You can just do interact with the database, do queries. So you can tell them, once I get data from the sources, okay, you connect the sources, get the data, then you put them in your working environment. So that is, you transform them. Here, where do you transform them? You can say, I use Python. So what is the environment? It's just like this, the way we get them and put them into VS Code. Okay, you read them into VS Code, then use Python pandas. Okay, you tell them, I use Python to transform them. Okay, after using Python, I do what? I report maybe using Power BI, depending on the needs of the company. It's not just Power BI, okay? It's because I'm sure that in this bootcamp you will cover Power BI, but you might find maybe they have other ways of building dashboards. There are other means of building them you can see, but it depends on the company. But what's important is you want to serve your users here. How you serve them, it's up to you and up to their needs. So you serve the reports. You don't serve the data, you serve the reports as a data analyst. Those who serve data are data engineers or software engineers who are on the upstream, okay, here. So for you, just deal with this side of analyzing and transforming and then serving data, okay? Okay, so the first thing is, now I am here inside my environment in Python. I have VS Code, I have another editor, I know Python. So how do I get access to the data? What happens? Okay, so that is what I am going to tell you about. Please follow, and while I'm speaking, just picture that, and maybe if they ask you that in an interview, learn what tools you would explain. If you are starting to work, learn how the environment would look like. Now it is your first day at work. Okay, on the onboarding, what they do, they tell you the data sources again that they use. Okay, is it okay? They tell you about their data sources. Okay, if it's Excel, if they are just Excel files, what do? You open your VS Code. Simply, you open your VS Code. Okay, so by VS Code, I mean the editor. You can use other code editors. Okay, then after that, you do what? You import pandas as PD, like we saw yesterday. You import pandas because pandas is the library that that helps you to do what? To read them as in form of tables and analyze them. Okay. After that, how do you read it? You can say my data, and we learned about variables. You know what a variable is, okay? Now you understand that you need to, if this is not your data, you can say maybe sales data. Be mindful about what the variables you use so that you can always understand it. So what you do, you use PD, the alias we've given, PD dot. If it's an Excel, you can say read Excel, as simple as that. Okay, then you do what? You pass in the file you want to read, dot Excel, XLS maybe. You just pass in that. So usually the reports have different sheets. Maybe it has so many sheets. It is a finance report. Maybe this sheet number 1 is called budget. Okay. Sheet number 2 is called cash flow statement. Maybe you're doing for the finance department. So what you do is, in this method, there is another argument you pass called sheet name. That's where you specify the sheet name that you want to use. Okay, you say sheet name equal, you name. If you want to deal with the cash flow statement, you copy the name of the sheet, you pass it here. Once you run and check and print my data, it will be in your coding environment. Then you do all the data analysis we saw yesterday. As simple as this, okay? And all this you can use AI to trade, but just understand the flow that if you have an Excel file, then you can use pandas directly and analyze it, everything you need. Okay. Everything you need, and then you get to the point of reporting here. So the second case, this is the most common, but depending on the data maturity, those who deal with data enough, you will find that maybe they have a website that pumps data in a database, not just a website, maybe their financials, maybe let's say in a bank. When you're a data analyst in a bank, you do Excel, but in most cases you do use databases, not in just a bank. Those who store in databases, not Excel files. Okay. So what do you do now? How do you get access to this? So typically there is someone who is responsible for managing this DB. In some companies, they call them DBA, database managers or admin. Okay. In other cases, maybe it is managed by a data engineer. Okay. It is managed by a data engineer. For you, as I told you, you don't manage this and you're not responsible for what happens here. Okay. So what do they do when you go to your job and you want access? First of all, they create you a user on the database. This user, every database has a way of creating users. Then they assign you privileges. What can you do on this database? They grant you privileges. Okay. This means that, for instance, let's assume that you are going to analyze data, but in this database, as we saw, you can have so many schemas. Okay. A database is the server. Then the schemas, you can have maybe finance, where the finance puts their tables. Okay. Right? You can have maybe security, where the security team puts their tables in the same database. Okay. You have a lot of things in this database. So this database manager is responsible for managing this. Why? If something happens here, every user that consumes this database will be affected. Okay. If you do something you're not sure of, let's say you run a query and that query crashes the database, the whole data, all the users, even security, will start complaining. So that, or you accidentally maybe use AI, eh? Use AI and you run a query which somehow deletes a table. You find that you've deleted all the finance tables in your company. The next step they do is they fire you before even talking, because you've done a scandal. So to avoid that, because you can do it accidentally, to be honest, it's something that can happen. So what they do, they grant you privileges where you cannot, on your user, where you cannot be able to delete. That means if they give you privileges and you're not allowed to delete, it means that even if you run a query accidentally that does not that deletes a table, it will not run because you do not have permission. You get an error, that permission error. So you are given access to you by someone in your company. Then they give you the right privileges. You can see the privileges that you have. Then usually they give you, so as a data analyst, as we told you, as we said, you do not edit data, you just analyze. They give you what we call insert, not insert. They can give you insert. You can be able to create maybe new tables, but not delete. Okay. You can do select. Select is the basic one. Select is just selecting the tables, viewing. Okay. So maybe this is enough for you to analyze the data, and that's all. Okay. And that is all. So that means you are able to connect to the database and then do what? Now start analyzing your data. So how do they give you this access? Okay. When they create a user, you remember in our database, we have something like this, the IP address. You remember we have 127, okay, .0.0, maybe .1, okay? This IP address is your address on the network. So when they create you a user, they give you your address, okay? They give you your username, eh? Then they give you your password. you get to connect to the database. When you use these, you get access to the data. Then you start saying select all, whatever, and then you start your job. You understand how they do it, the way what they do, so that we go and see how it is done. Any questions here? Any question?
It is clear now.
It is okay. Right. So now I'm going to show you. We've been analyzing and all that. Now you see your job has not started yet. You know the Python and the SQL, but you have not started. So I'm going to show you how this is done. You remember we created our databases. So when you create a database, as a data analyst, you don't create databases, okay? There is the admin. So when we created our databases here, okay, our database here, you see, back to the Data Plus Bootcamp schema. You remember we created a database. After creating the database, we log in using the password, correct? We all have these. We have the clinics table, the countries, and the visits. Sibyo, let's go together here because I want us to to create a user and then to give them access to the database. For instance, here we are here as the admin. Okay, we are here as, let's see, show. You are here as the admin. Okay, so that means maybe I am a company. Assume I am the company and I'm hiring a data analyst. Okay, so I won't give them my password because otherwise it's like giving lending your computer to someone or your phone and giving them the password, your face ID or your PIN. They will enter everything. But instead, and this is a big database, let's assume. So we have the finance schema, the security schema, the procurement schema, all that. So for you, maybe you're a data analyst for the whole company. So I'll give you access to all the tables. That is an example. So what I do, what that person does at work is, instead of giving you the whole thing here, my password that I'm using, I create a user. Okay. So how do you create? If you see this pin, this IP address 00.1, it means this is a local server. So we are doing it locally. What does that mean? They can only use it on this machine. But usually you have a different IP address which points to the database, to the server. Okay. So that you can access it, right? So how do we do it? I come here in my queries. I have an already made query. You just write queries, okay? Okay. So for instance, I have hired a data analyst, okay? So what you do, you say create user. It's just a query, SQL query. I create a user for them and a password. So I say in SQL, so how do you know this? How did I get this? I can say creating user in MySQL because it is the database that I am using. Okay. So what do? You say when you're creating a local user, like we are doing, you say create user, my user, that is username, at localhost identified by, that is the password. Okay. You see, that is the query I've written. Okay. So for instance, let me come here. I create this user. It is giving me an error because data plus analyst is already there. Let me create a new user and say data plus analyst finance. Maybe they are for finance department. I give them a password. Okay. When you give them a password and I run, it is running. So I've created a user, okay, called Data Plus Analyst. I'm the admin. Then what I do, I now grant them privileges, okay? Because for instance, let me show you, okay? I have my username and password. Let me try to log in as using this username and you see. How do I log in? So usually So how do I log in? Okay. I can use my terminal. Okay. I can use my terminal or you remember here, if it's your computer, how we did it, you just download the extension and add your username and password. The way we are doing it, you remember the first time we did, okay? SQL, you download it, we have this one, this extension, okay? So when you use this, you remember how we did it, okay? How did we do it? We would just come and connect, try to add a connection. Let me try to add a connection here, okay? If host is, so username here, instead of root, what will I do? I will use, where is my query? My created user is data plus. So they will share with me these credentials, okay? So I come here and do what? The password is data plus password, okay? I try to connect. So instead of root here, so this is my SQL, I use data plus finance and port. They give me the port, it is 3306. No, the host is localhost. Username is this one. Port is here. Database. So they also give you access to database. The database is Data Plus Bootcamp. So they've already told me that they gave me access to that with a user this, and my password is Data Plus password. Okay. It is this one. Okay. Let me try to connect. Okay, now see what they are saying. They are telling me access denied for user, data plus finance, localhost to database, data bootcamp. Can you tell me why? Can anyone guess? I'm using the correct username and the correct password they've given me. I'm trying to connect, but they are saying, no, you're not allowed. Why? Can anyone tell me why? Okay. The reason I cannot connect, if you come here on this query, I am created as a user. But if I run this query, show grants for data plus analyst, finance, this one, maybe that is me, okay? Usage on nothing. There is nothing that I'm allowed to do. Okay? Grant usage on. There is nothing. Okay? So that means they've created my user, but they did not give me permissions to do anything. So what we do, now I'm going to grant select only. Okay? Not all these. So when you grant select, you allow them to view the data, saying select all from table something. Insert, you're allowed to insert something, okay? Update, you're allowed to change something, change tables, like change columns. Delete, you're allowed to delete. But in real world environment, they cannot give you all these access unless you're the admin. So what we are going to do, I'm going to grant them select, then run. If I run this show grants to data plus analyst, they'll okay, then show. Why can't let me see. Show grants. I don't know why, but I've given them select. That means they can select data on this database, on data bootcamp. So let's go back and try to do what? To log in using this user. You remember they were saying what? They were saying you're not allowed. My password is data. Okay, the port is here, just like we were connecting. The difference is we are using the password they've given us. Okay, let me try to connect and we see. Why is it still? Yeah, I think I have a problem here. Sorry, yeah, that's the problem. You see, I was giving them to a different user. Sorry. I was giving them to a different user. So let me give them this access and we run here. Let me see what I can do. Now you see, grant select on. I have this privilege. Okay, so if I come here again, if I come here and try to connect, let's try to connect again and we see. Username is this one, not root. Database is data plus bootcamp. Password, they've also given me the password. Okay, so everything is set. Let me try to connect and see. You see, now success, connection success. Can you see? I am connected to the server. Why? Because I've been granted access. So you can see here, if I close this, I have another user. Okay? And I have access to the tables as a data analyst. You see? Eh? But, okay, I can come here and select. Okay? I can come here and select. You see? Now I am connected. Let's close this. Okay? I am connected. Right? So Now you start querying. So when you're logged in, I want to log in. So this is data analyst, okay? User. Let me do this, okay? Let me say select all from clinics, okay? You see? Now you start querying. If I select all, it is here. When I select all, it is here, okay? But let me try to drop table clinics. Okay, let me try to drop this table. Dropping is deleting the table. Let me run and see. Wait, affected rows 0. Why does it why does it seem to have succeeded? You see, if I try to drop, why are they saying affected rows? Eh? They are lying. Eh, really? Have I dropped it? Wait. Eh? Let me show, let me check the user. Maybe I am still logged in as data plus analyst, localhost, check. Yeah, it select current user. So you can see you can make a mistake. So if you're the DB, now you see the problem. I am logged in as root. That is why the table did what? Oh my God. You see? Can you see it? So I am logged in as root, so that's why I was able to delete this table. Eh? That is a mistake. Okay. But as a data analyst, they make sure that you cannot delete. Now, let's say you're at your work, you just started your job and you accidentally delete something, you would be in trouble. And the one who gave you access would be in trouble. So let me maybe try to, another thing, by the way, when you have, let me show you something, CMD. So you can, today we are just, let me say how to get access to my SQL on CLI. I want to use AI, root. This will not work. I know this will not work. Let me instead do this. You see? Oh yeah, I was, yeah. Okay, let me create a new query. Test DB. Okay. Now let me say show current user and run. Okay, so I'm not allowed to. Let me say select. You can see the problem with grants from countries. So they give you, you can see now, I can view this, but I cannot run that other query. Why? Because I just have select privileges. Let me try to drop another table. I hope it's not a mistake as well. Drop table visits. Let's see what happens. You can see, because I'm now in the correct user, drop command denied to user, data plus finance. Can you see? I cannot drop it. So because they did not give me the what? The privileges for that. And this is very good in database management. Okay. So, but if they come here, this is the root user. If they come here in this query, create user and grant, let me grant them everything. Delete. No, let me grant them delete. Okay. So if they log in, ikibazo all the tables ngiye kuzimana. So if they log in here, okay, if they log in, I am logged in as data plus analyst finance. If I come and do, I cannot create a new database. I want to, sorry, I want to add a new query. And because I've given him a privilege to drop, now let me try to drop clinics. They say drop command denied to data plus finance. But they had, let me see the privileges that I have. I can delete, right? I don't want to delete another table. Let me delete countries. Am I in the correct user? Let me check. You can see things are not easy. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I need to log out because I've already been given all these privileges, right? But usually, I don't know why I've not gotten the privileges to delete, to drop. But this is the good practice, okay? You won't be dealing with all this as a data analyst. There's someone else who does it. But I wanted to give you the context of how you now connect to your data. Now here, there's the admin user, okay? There's the admin user, and there is you who cannot delete a table, okay? Now this is where you start querying. Okay. So you can, and as we said on the first day, you can access SQL anywhere. Here we are using an extension in VS Code, okay? You can also use the terminal, but the terminal is, if you have bigger tables, it's not interactive, but in connecting to the database, you can use the terminal. So there is a command, okay? Let me You see, when I run this command, you can use AI to just give you the command that you run, and they tell you add user. So if I come here to this terminal, this is PowerShell, okay? Okay, what is my password? Data plus, you see? So how do you know that you're inside your SQL? If I delete this, let me remove all this, okay? Okay. So you can, how do you know that you're inside SQL? You can see this SQL, my SQL. I am already connected. Okay. So I can say show tables. Error, no database. Okay. Use bootcamp called data plus bootcamp. Database change, then you can say show tables. You can see all the tables. I can also query show, select all from countries. Okay. If I run, you can see I now have access to the DB. If I want to exit, I can just come here. So this is usually used when you're testing your connection. I can come here and exit. They tell me bye. I go back to my Python. Another thing, so this is what we call, there is the graphic user interface. This is the terminal. You can access it. You can use it even the command prompt for your computer. I'm running this because, so this just looks for the SQL executor, which you have already on your computer. Then you add your name. So was unexpected. They're telling me they did not expect this. See, you see, this is my usual command prompt on my computer. Then I do password. You can see welcome to my SQL terminal. You see, so if I say show databases, the ones they have given me access to, you see, Database Bootcamp information schema. Okay. So these they come by default. Okay. So sometimes if they have so many databases and they give you access to one database, like Database Bootcamp, you only see that. So I can say use Data Plus Bootcamp. Okay. Then select all from, I know I have my countries table. You can see I'm in my SQL. Then let me try to drop it. I hope I do not have the privileges. They are saying error, drop command denied to user data plus. You can see. So I exit. Once you complete the testing, you exit. So why am I showing you this? Okay. Sometimes some systems have some companies, they just show you this and they give you access to the tables. So what they do, they tell you, hey, we want to know what is the average population today. Eh? What do? You just write, you log in, you write the query, and it gives you the population, the average, just like you do. So once you finish working, you just exit. When you exit, it goes back to your local user. So this is what they call accessing a SQL from the command line, okay? But you can also access now through Python. Python connects with SQL, okay? So how do you connect Python to SQL? I have my test connection, my test connection notebook here. I'll share it with you, but they are just simple codes to test, okay? So what you do, Python has a way of connecting with my SQL, okay? So in Python, Python is not SQL directly to SQL, but that is not how it's done with Python, okay? So what we do, we use their specialized connectors, what we call connectors, SQL provided, so that you can connect to it via Python. So you use what we call my SQL connector. So before using it, just like yesterday we were doing, you first install it. Okay? You first install it. So let me install it. It's already installed on my end, but let me see. They say requirement already satisfied. So after that, you import my SQL connector, which you have already downloaded. So in this my connector, we have a module called connect. So we are creating a variable called connection, CNX. You can call it connection wherever you want. Then you add your username and password. Okay. Let me say Bootcamp Finance. You just put your user here, then you put your password, and then then okay. So you connect. Okay. You see, I have created a connection successfully. You can also check the documentation, how to connect to SQL via my SQL. Okay, you can see this is the same code I'm saying. So you can see for them, they are more intelligent than me. They are catching errors. You remember when we were catching errors yesterday? Was it yesterday or the other day? So that why do they catch errors? If you're trying to connect and you're running an application and the connection to the database fails without catching errors, the whole application crashes. So, but for now, this is what you do. Connection equal to my SQL connector, localhost, user, password, then database. If connection, this is the catching errors we learned in Python. Okay, except error. So once the connection fails, what you do, they say error while connecting with SQL. I can come and copy this whole code, okay, and come here. Okay, let me do this. You come and copy it. So I call it connection, establish connection. So user, I use the same user. Host is localhost because I have it on my computer. So you see, now let me show you. Let me try to intention. So all this code I've just got it from Google, but don't just do it. I know because what I know because I understand what it's doing. So it is creating a variable called connection, which is creating the connection using my credentials. So it is, you see the try, it is catching errors. If connection is connected, print connected successfully. So after when it's connected successfully, they do what we call a cursor. A cursor is a way of accessing the database. Then you start executing the query. You execute the query using cursors. Then you can see select, you write your queries inside here. Okay. Once it has finished, what it has failed, it will say error. For instance, let me write the password wrong. I do this, now I run. What will it tell me? It will say error because the password is wrong. You see, error, access denied user, using password, yes, the password is wrong. But if I write the whole password, you can see successfully connected. Version connection is closed. So you open and close the connection. This is a bit complicated with Python, but you can just use AI to understand it. Okay, you can see I just copy pasted this code here, but I know because I understand what it's doing, it has the comments. I just do it. Okay, so another very important thing, now assume you're writing your code and you want maybe someone else wants, you want to share it with someone else. Okay, typically this is a scandal. Can you see the code I've highlighted? Can you tell me why I've said it's a scandal?
I think it's because it is showing the credentials.
Exactly. This is a scandal because it is showing so for instance, usually when assume you upload this code on GitHub or someone else in your department or someone else, maybe they steal your your app or we share codes everywhere, especially on GitHub versioning when you're working as a team. This is in development, this is a scandal. Okay, you get? But for now, let's struggle with connecting to the database. But never do this, never add your 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 what? Your credentials in your code. Never. Why? If you're going to put them in a platform when you're going to deploy, someone can have access to this database and they steal the company's data. Okay? So never do this. There is a way of managing this. We use what we call environment variables. Environment variables are variables that are hidden. Okay? So you just create a file called .env. So everything in this file is never, you can see that even VS Code knows, okay? So everything in this file is never shared on GitHub, okay? You just say, there's a way you say ignore every, this is a secret, these are secrets. So you create an environment variable, all secrets, all credentials, all passwords are stored in an environment variable. But for now, not to confuse you, let's do this. Let's just connect here. Okay. But they might ask you now, how do you connect? And then you say, I write my password. That's okay. Then they ask you, where do you store your password? Your password, your credentials are stored in an environment variable. Then you access the environment variable. Because you have AI, that's why I don't want to confuse you. For instance, because this is my local host, it's safe. Let me try, but don't do it using your company's credentials, please. Eh? Don't put your company's credentials. Your company will fire you. Now I'm going to tell it create a v .env file and use. Okay. So see, you create a .env file Then you put your credentials here. So I have what to put in my .m file. You do your credentials here, okay? Then after that, you just copy this code. You just copy this code and let me again test the connection. Okay. Okay, I need to install .env. Let me first install. Let me first install it because I want to use it. You see, successfully installed it. Now let me run. You see, successfully connected to my database. The same output. But check, if I come here, you cannot know my credentials. You see? Can you know what's here? What they do, you use .get.m, then it just goes into the environment variable and looks for this environment. DB host, what is the DB host? It's localhost. Then it uses that. When you're going to deploy, there is nobody can know that what is inside here, like they can't know. They can't tell. That is the best practice. Then with knowing how to connect to it, you can see. So let me again try to connect it. Now you can see, once you connect to it and try to execute show tables. So when you do cursor, this cursor is a way of connecting with your database, okay? Now see, I've commented this, okay? Why? Because when you close a connection, when you open a connection to the database, you need to close it. Why? The database will be open to, it's like it's open to the internet. So just close it. But when you close it, you will not be able to, it's closed, you will not be able to run queries. So now, I don't want to close it now. Instead, you can see now, I am reading the, okay, data blast. Clinic doesn't exist because I deleted it. You remember when I deleted it from the database, okay? So now it's reading countries, visits, free visits and visits. So after that, you can as well read them, read SQL. You can read them as pandas, data frames. You say clinics df when you want to analyze them. Clinics df, you use this function called read SQL. What read SQL is, you pass in the query that you want, then you pass in the connection. It knows that I'm using the credentials in this CNX variable, which is the connection. Then it goes and runs this query. And the good thing is, let me show you. No, clinics is deleted. Let me show you visits, countries, okay? You can see, I can read countries DF here. I can read the countries DF here. But usually the good practice, you can see I have access to the countries from the other database, from my database. You see? But assume you have a very, very big table. You remember yesterday I told you, pandas runs on memory, which means if the size of the table is large, it can crash your working environment. But it has the flexibility. Instead of selecting all from countries, I can just say select from countries where population is less than 30 million. Okay, this query, it will execute it and just returns only that question, only that output, which is Rwanda with a population less than 30 million. You see? Then you read it, okay? Let me read it, okay? Now you read it and analyze it, okay? Just like we were analyzing yesterday. Now you can do joins, what, merging, all that inside Python. After reading your data from where? From SQL. Here I'm connected to SQL, okay? To the database. So you analyze and you do everything you want. After that, you report without needing to read data here, okay? So we've seen different ways of connecting to SQL. We are fast. Why are we fast today? Because I just wanted to understand you, to help you understand how a typical data scientist, data analyst starts their job, okay? So everything else, because we've already covered the fundamentals, you can just come here and use AI, okay? Any questions so far before we go for a break? Any questions? If no questions, let's go for a break. Then we'll pick one of you, a volunteer. They will create a user and connect to the database using that user. They grant them access, then they use that user. Okay. So let's take 10 minutes break. We'll come back and someone else from you tries to connect to the database as a data analyst. They create a user, grant them privileges, and then that person starts their job. Can you hear me? Any volunteer? Hello? Hello? Sorry, I was on mute. Oh, I was saying, who can volunteer to just try to connect? Okay, you're already connected to your local database. This one, okay. This is the root user. You're the root user, the admin. Then you create a user, a new user. Then you try to log in using that user and do queries. Instead of doing queries as admin, you run queries as a data analyst, not the admin. Who would be willing to do that? Any volunteer? It's just reading the data. Then you see that you can read it. You can get access to the DB. Then that's all. That will be enough for us to know what we do as a data analyst. Then we'll go back to the notebook and look into the codes. Can anyone volunteer? Maybe Kevin, can you?
I'm using my phone. I don't have the laptop near of me.
Okay, anyone else who is ready? It's just like 2, 3 lines of code. You don't want to spend a lot of time in the codes. We've done enough push-ups. Anyone? No volunteer. Colette.
Hello.
Mm,
Okay. I missed some steps. Maybe we can put it together. Let me.
it's okay, yeah.
I can try.
Good.
And
By the
it's
way, that is the best way of learning. Yeah? If you watch, you can see. I run through the codes. We don't write code line by line. So if you don't practice, it could be hard.
So I was in a on a different PC. That's why it takes some minutes. Let me try to share the screen. Okay, can you now see my screen? I guess it's not. Okay, so now you can see my screen, I hope. So we are, if I remember well. So this is my local server, and we are going to create a new user. Let me see. This was a database. How to create a new user. I only see, okay, these are the queries. Okay, so where is the option? I only see the add connection. I don't see create new user.
Create new. No, you write. Okay.
Okay.
Just create a new query.
Oh, via the query. I thought
Yeah.
there is somewhere I can just click.
No, it's a query.
Okay, so we call it, let's say, we call it whatever. So user test. Okay, so here I can just create user, create user. Okay,
Yeah, you can. Yeah. Please don't. Yeah, continue.
we can call it the same name as we did.
No, I just wanted to show you the syntax.
The syntax. Okay,
Yeah.
so in this create user, I just give okay, localhost. So we can give a name of our choice, of our own.
Where? So can you try to Google
Yes.
how to create user in MySQL?
Yeah.
Then you see the overall
Okay.
syntax.
So how how to create the syntax? Okay, yeah. I think SQL it's the same as MySQL. Yes. Okay, so I copied the syntax. Also,
Go back to that output a bit. I show you something
this one
from Google.
from Google.
Yeah, you see there.
IP,
Specific IP
IP
address
address.
restricts logins to a single external computer. You see? So that means that if you are using a local host because you are on the server
On my
is
computer.
okay.
Okay, wait. Okay, yeah. This. So I came. I can give a username. Okay, which username do we? Any? let's say data bootcamp. Just localhost identified by password.
Yeah.
Password. Easy to remember or okay. Bootcamp. Then I run. And under this new user, I have to specify the, what do we need? The grant.
Yeah.
Grant the user some of the privilege.
Okay, for instance, before you grant,
Yes.
go to that user. Are they created? What shows that they are created?
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. I have to connect it to, what is it?
Yeah, try to connect to
That,
add connection app.
yeah, I have to, okay.
Then log in, try to log in and use that username.
Okay, so this is the host. It's already,
Yeah.
okay. The username, data bootcamp, data bootcamp. And I had the port. I don't change this password. Bootcamp. I call it bootcamp. Bootcamp. The database. Did I specify database?
Yeah, the database name you have access to.
Okay, so
You
the
give
data,
them
the
access to.
bootcamp. Yes, our usual. Then I connect. Any powerful features? I don't see any other. Why is it something I missed? Okay. I click connect, it doesn't go.
Scroll up, you see
How?
the error.
Oh,
They're saying access denied.
okay, so it goes, why?
Why? Why is that? Because it's okay that there is no problem with you. It's because they have created a user, but they
Yes.
have not granted them any privileges. So you cannot access the tables, the database.
Oh, okay, no privileges.
But
Okay,
the minimum privilege is select,
the
list
select.
you view. Yeah. So go
Okay,
back to,
okay, so to the use,
yeah,
I grant.
grant,
I grant, let's
select
see, on,
all. That means on all the tables. You can,
yeah, on your,
two, just tab.
to tab.
No. Go back. They were suggesting you the correct code. Yeah, there. Click tab on your computer, on your keyboard. Okay.
Okay, so data bootcamp.
Run. So
This should be what? Oh, okay,
the
the
database,
credential, the username.
the user
Okay,
on
I was,
to localhost. Then run.
I run this,
So you've granted only select.
only select.
So they can just
Okay,
select. Now go back and try to log in.
the connection, this username, data bootcamp, password, bootcamp, database, data class, data class. Bootcamp. Okay. Denied again. Oh, it's a success. Okay. So now I'm connected to this new. Okay, it is added here. How do I know that I'm in the right server? I escape this.
Now, one important thing for you to try to master it, you're still in your root user, okay? Try to
Okay.
create a new database different from what you had. Just create a new database.
New database.
Write create database in the queries.
Oh, in the queries here. Okay. Maybe I can call it. Okay. This exists. I can call it.
Test bootcamp, maybe.
I run it.
Okay. Now you can see what I want to show you is you can see write show databases.
Show database.
We have company, performance schema, shop, Duca, DB. Oh, those are yours.
Most of them. This is schema. It's not mine. I don't know where they come from.
Information schema is auto-generated.
Oh, okay. Shop, Duca, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Now to test the other user, go to you see this user, you have two users here. Up.
Yes.
Close that.
How do I close this?
Yeah.
Or remove
No. Okay, go inside the other one.
this?
Now create, open it. You can see the DBs that you have. Now create a query. Plus sign.
Oh, a new query.
Yeah, inside this one. Okay. Inside, this one, the other. You have two DBs.
Yes.
The one, no, two users.
I see this one and this.
That one, yeah. So the
Yes.
top one is the one that is the root user.
Oh,
How do you
how do
confirm?
I know that it's the root user?
Go to your queries.
A new query?
No,
Oh,
inside
okay,
there.
then existing. Yes.
Then write show current user.
Oh, yeah. Show current user. Show current user.
Because I think you need to close brackets, I think.
Bracket.
After user, is it correct?
Like this?
Yeah.
Underscore. Okay. Let me check again. What did I put it in? Select or what? Let me use select current.
Oh, select.
Select current use. Root local. Okay. Now I'm in. Yeah.
Yeah. So go to the other one and create a query inside that other one.
The other user. Okay.
On the database. Data plus.
Data. Oh, so there is another query. Yes. A new query. Let's see.
Of course, when you're data analyst, you don't see this root user
Why?
because you don't. The reason you're seeing it is because you are the admin and now you're creating a new user. The root
Okay.
user is the admin user.
Admin use. Okay. Me, what they give me, they are like username, those credentials.
Yeah, and then you
Okay.
create your own user.
Okay. And now I'm on the all the. So what do I do with this?
Select current user.
Ah, okay. Select. Select current user. Yeah.
Now do show tables.
The tables inside the or
Show databases. Show database.
sorry.
Let's see the ones that.
Where are they? Oh, why are they coming? Okay, it's like company. Why are they? These are the old ones.
Yeah. What is inside the company? Okay, it's okay. Just try to now select from data camp.
Selected from the okay. Select. Let's see. Data camp
Yes, sorry, not
because
data.
it's giving. Okay, I
The
select.
one you created. The one you give them access to.
Uh, what is it? The data camp. Data. It's not a database.
No, the
The,
database you
that, what do I select here? Is it a table
from
or
table.
an
Yeah.
account? That account I created.
Yeah, you can. Okay, that's why they say data plus dot test. Test bootcamp. What is that? It's a table, right?
Test bootcamp.
Okay, just show databases. You have data plus bootcamp.
Yes,
Now
these
show
are
the table.
the databases I have. So
Yeah.
do I select from a database or
Select tables from a database. Select from a table inside the database.
okay from
Not
table?
not not the user.
Yes. Okay, so I can select from let's say clinic. I just understand what it displays. Now I can access the tables.
Yeah.
I can select from any table in this database.
Yeah.
Okay,
Now try to job clinics.
to
Job table.
drop table from clinics. Maybe countries.
You
Okay,
see?
command denied. Yeah.
That is
Okay,
what we need.
because we am granted with only one option.
Yeah.
Select. Okay, I'm good. Start. So,
So after that, you can just query your database. So they give you the credentials, you
yes,
just do the queries.
I can do the queries using select only.
Yeah. Select that means you can do all the queries, but you can't delete or change. But you can do select tables from all the queries you need.
Okay.
But you cannot update a table.
I cannot insert, I cannot delete anything.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So thank you very much. And the second step, we were connecting to Python. I think we can use the AI.
Yeah.
It-
But don't give it your credentials. Just say, help me connect my SQL to through Python.
My SQL to Python. Okay. I install. Okay, so I go to terminal or what? It was in terminal.
To VS Code to your
That
notebook.
where is it? Okay,
Or you want to access it via terminal. You can also try that.
via terminal. I think it's much easier.
Yeah.
I can install even from here.
Yeah. Pip install. Yeah.
We always use notebooks and sometimes we forget that what we do, the code we run in notebooks are also working via terminals. Okay, so I have installed, then I can import. Okay, what if I copy? There I can paste. Does this work?
Hey, on the terminal.
Yes. I have installed the library, the package. Now I want to import it, and
It works, but you can see, it's
it's
chaotic.
very annoying.
It's not
Because
good
I
for.
just wanna import like the package I have already downloaded, so it's not even working here.
Just run it through Python.
Through Python.
Yeah, if you want to connect there on directly on the SQL client, there's also a there's okay. Change the prompt. Say how to connect via CLI, the command line
How to connect?
via terminal. Org CLI. Manuka. No, that one because
This
you're
is
using PowerShell. Say
this
in PowerShell.
in a portion.
Yeah. That because you have a Windows machine.
Is this a PowerShell?
Yeah. Say I'm using PowerShell.
So my
Does that work? Okay, try that.
MySQL.
So
That
what that
is,
means is it runs MySQL.
yes.
.u is username. That's why they say username. That dot minus p is password. It prompts you to add password.
Oh, okay. I input U is a username.
No, u is a flag where they wrote username. Put your username, the user you created.
Data bootcamp. Bootcamp. And I put the password.
No, just hit
That's
enter.
it. Denied or what?
You can see. Yeah, it doesn't. Let me
Data
show you.
bootcamp. Or I put the spaces or no? Should I import any something? Okay. Or it's a wrong. Okay, data. Sorry. Maybe I.
Try this.
Sometimes it might be data boot. Oh, it's correct. I thought I
The
forgot
user, the
to
user is. Let me see the
data
username.
data bootcamp. It's
Okay.
this one.
Use that query I've given you
Where?
in the chats.
Okay. The chat. How do I go to the chat now? It's very funny. I almost okay. The chat are here. This is the kind of challenging. Yeah. Where is the chat?
I
Oh,
can see it.
okay. Like, oh, now I can access.
So change data plus analyst to your username.
Data plus. Okay. Uh, it's okay. I copy into in a terminal.
Yeah.
Okay. This is disturbing. So
Add your username.
where is the personal data? It's data bootcamp. Data bootcamp. Yes, just that.
Yeah.
Password.
Enter the password.
Um,
So don't worry, all those you don't need to to cram. When you start the
yes,
job,
this
you
is
can use
for
them.
data, the engineer.
Yeah, you don't need to know all those codes.
But to connect, just for connecting like this, the way we are doing.
Yeah. So you can see you're connected.
Ah,
Try to say show
yes,
databases.
sure.
You know that you're connected when they show that MySQL.
Okay. I
You
don't
can
have
see
nothing. Don't.
because you've not closed. By the way, terminal, the terminal is a very good place to exercise. It's for
Now,
pros.
oh, okay, now
Error.
nothing errors. Show
The
database.
terminal is for pros. It's very good to practice from the terminal.
It is very good. Yes. Okay, so what can I do from here? I can select or what?
Yeah, you can select. You're on the database. Select, say show tables.
Show tables. Oh, tables.
Yeah, just like you would do in a query, any query.
Forgot. Something is, or you miss the parentheses or what? Nothing. If it doesn't show me databases, then something is wrong.
No,
No parentheses.
yeah.
It will not work. Oh, this works. These are the databases I have. Yes. Okay. If I select, let's say, where is the clinic? Maybe clinics. Okay, select from a database. Data. No database is selected. What do we select from?
I think you need to command use database.
Database.
I use that. Yeah, you need to. Yeah,
Okay, I forgot totally that. Use data plus to identify any bootcamp.
yeah, database changed.
And,
So
okay, now from here I can select. But just I wanna check if maybe from, I know clinics is inside this. One tab it is okay. Now it's showing something.
yeah,
Okay, so now at this time I'm connected and I can go ahead and do the queries.
yeah. So to exit, just write exit.
Exit.
Just exit.
Oh, without.
Oh, you're calling the function exit.
Okay, just exit.
You see,
With
again, write exit as a word, not a function.
I do. It's that I added this exit.
Yes.
Okay, when it says buy, it's already okay. I'm now in my local. Don't know how. Oh, I can hide
Okay.
this.
Now you can also do that into Python using the other code that they showed you.
In Python.
So you can see you can access the database. Sorry.
You were saying,
Now use Python. So to read Python, we use what we call so here you are connecting directly to SQL, to MySQL, because you're not using another tool like another language. So with the language, you have what we call connectors. So they built a module called connectors. Just copy the code
okay.
they had shown you before.
Yes. But before I leave this part, if for I assume I wanted to do my, if it's a quick, simple analysis, I don't need to go to Python. How can I export this? Like I do via command terminal. Is there
Eh,
a way I can, if my boss wants only this, how can I send it directly to him?
eh. In a report, you can do a screenshot. You want to like,
Okay. A
yeah, you can
screenshot.
do a screenshot.
I thought there is a way to just export this.
I think you can just Google search.
I will check that out.
Just because I don't know doesn't mean doesn't
Okay,
mean.
I will. Okay, so connecting to Python.
Hey, how's it going? My name is Jay.
My screen. There was a code. Okay. This I have already installed. Remember the pack. Okay, do this. If I install a package in it via terminal, it's already in Python. I don't have to reinstall again. Then copy everything. Okay, so where is now my Python? Okay, I can. How do I get rid of? Okay, so now I'm back. I It is in my notebook. I don't want the terminal or PowerShell. Okay. Okay. How do I specify? I want a new, I go to new, because I always find my notebook here. No, I don't.
It's there. It's up
That's
there.
not me.
Day 5. It's there. No.
I mean, I want to create a new one just to paste my stuff.
Hey.
This is not notebook. It's
Yeah, if you want to create notebook, go to files, the file, yeah. You can also, yeah, it's okay.
okay. Okay, I go
There.
here.
Yeah.
I created it's not what I
You have, okay, add there.
I
New.
add here.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you have groups.
Group 1. I didn't add any group. I don't know what happens here. Okay, if I wanna add, let's see, new file here first. Okay, connection. Okay, but it's not okay. I had to put the extension. That's what I missed. Name dot prime. Okay, this is much easier for me. Okay, so I'm coming. I copied everything. I assume it's. I simply wanted to import. So, and I wanted to also to create the environment variables for safety of our
Yeah,
credentials.
you first create the file dot
Okay,
env
the file. Okay,
dot yeah
dot
env
env. Just that.
yeah. So that's
Okay.
where you put your credentials.
Okay. Like
I think those one need to be edited.
Yes, I will edit. I put the real. Which environment am I in? Will I be? Should I also put extension?
No,
No,
nothing.
nothing. What is this now?
You're trying to auto-generate code. Just close it there on your right.
I wanted to just paste what I. Okay, so the host, localhost, yes, username, data bootcamp, the password, the was it bootcamp, then database, data plus. Okay, so then I. Okay.
Hey, they should be arranged well, huh?
Okay.
The
No, I
indentation.
just copied from. I don't know why it's. How to run even this file? Should I
No
learn?
need to run.
I don't
No.
need it. It's saved.
Hey,
Control
yeah.
S. Good. Then I come here. I go to check how to connect using. Okay, to use. I don't know. Do I need this. I needed this. Okay. This is. This is. But the OS is done. Oh, maybe this. Oh, there was a copy. Okay. So then I do paste. I don't need to paste. How do I connect with my MV information then? Oh, OS. Okay, so it could not. I just copied I didn't edit, but how is it getting or extracting information in my ENV file and put it here? Is it direct?
Yeah, you use the OS module.
Yes.
Then what it does you see load the variables from .m file to the system environment. That load.m,
Okay.
it just loads everything that
Yes.
is in the environment variables to inside here in your code.
Here.
That's why you call DB host the variables, and it knows what the DB host represents.
It did not work here. It couldn't find this. I don't know the line one what.
So the DB host, go back to your environment variables.
Should I rename it?
Yeah. So the host is localhost user. So yeah, change those the variables.
Okay, let me see. Host user. Should I use the name they propose here?
It's okay as long as they match.
Okay, password was password. Password database. They match.
No, they are not matching. The
Host.
variables are not
It's
matching.
host here. It's user.
No. Oh, okay. You
Okay, unless if I just put this.
yeah,
Host is the host.
those are the variables. DB host, copy and paste it there.
The
Because
host.
yeah,
Like
you're
this.
referring to a variable called DB host in capital letters, but
Oh, okay. So yeah, it was wondering. So this is called DB host. DB host. DB user. DB password. DB name. Okay.
you can paste and copy and paste.
Okay, I can. Can do like this. So I change this. DB user. Okay. DB password. DB name. How do I accept this? Oh. DB name. Like this. Oh, okay, got it. Then I rerun. Okay, that's perfect. That's what we miss. Okay, so now successfully connected.
Not first,
Error.
connecting.
Why again?
There is an error in the
In this.
do they match?
So we had this actually from.
You can, by the way, you can just use AI in the codes and it because you do not have the credentials. Just use AI, it corrects it, and then
Okay, okay. Screen. Maybe I put it.
so that you already have. Then the
Like
Python
this.
code.
What I put.
I don't even know what the problem is.
But this was the same. Okay, let me copy again. We repeat the same. It looks is the same.
By the way, do you have, let me see, do you have .env
But
installed?
this
Okay, copy that code, by the way, the error.
and paste it there.
Yeah.
Maybe I did what I had. I stored it.
Hmm?
What does it mean? Is it a text? Okay.
Can't find your env. Okay.
Okay. Well then,
They are not, okay, let me show you. Copy that.
this
Copy that. No,
the,
the environment variable.
the environment variable. These are. Let's check what. But they are.
Yeah. Then copy everything. No, copy. You see, you even have copy
Only.
everything. Select and delete everything. Now
Then I
paste it.
these
Then
ones like
change.
this. Okay.
Change to the correct. You're confusing the.
I'm confused. Now it works. I even don't know what was. I
No,
will
you
check.
had so many things inside the environment variable, so it was not able to know which one to connect to.
Okay, I
So
forgot to
when
delete. Okay, so now it's safely connected. Successfully connected to the. Okay, so from here I can.
you can query, read them as data frames.
Okay, okay. Let's say, for instance, if I check the clinics, we read to adapt from clinics. What is this cone? What a cone. I wanted to. I don't know what it is. I wanted to see what.
The cone is the connection, the name of your
Oh,
connection.
the
Okay.
dice.
Oh,
Okay.
I pass you through that code, or
What's
because you need to pass the connection.
what's the cone? Did we mention it somewhere when we imported?
Yeah, no. So go, okay, let's go through this code.
Yes.
First,
Which
up
code? Up here.
there.
You mean
So
here? Yes.
imports OS. OS is used to connect to the environment variables.
Okay.
My SQL connector is the connector that SQL uses to connect to Python.
Yes.
Import error, that is the error
Error.
method. Load.env, it helps you load the environment variables inside your code. Then you try to connect. You say try, that is your catching errors. You know
Yes.
this.
Okay.
So connection equal to MySQL. Now you're connecting to the database. The engine is called connection. That is your connection. It's not cone, but usually they use cone by default. Maybe that's why
Okay.
it's suggesting cone.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it passes in that function, they pass your credentials. So if
Okay.
connection is connected, so this is just for debugging the code they add. Down you say cursor. This cursor helps you to execute codes directly in Python.
Okay.
Cursor execute, select database. So they are debugging for you. Don't need this to connect. It's for debugging purposes. Then except if it does not work, print error instead of crashing. So finally, what does, we didn't see it in error handling, but it's important, but it's a bit advanced for it. It means always close the connection. That means when you do finally and pass something in finally, what it does is regardless of what happens, it
Yes.
closes the connection. Whether you're connected successfully, it closes. Whether you're not connected, it tries again to close so that it makes sure that the connection is closed.
Okay.
So that is what it means. And they say print my SQL connection safely closed. So down there, your connection is called connection, not code.
Connection. Okay. PD is not, oh, pandas. Okay. I forgot to import. Import the
I thought this would
pandas.
not be intensive.
What again? Look, where is the message mask? What is this? It's not available.
Yeah, because you closed it.
I closed.
Yeah. So what you can do
You
is,
mean in this final,
yeah, just to comment. Okay,
the final?
comment connector close, connection close.
Even in the cursor.
Yeah, cursor and connection close. You close everything, it will show an error. Okay, just write print something just to avoid the error.
Okay.
And comment that one. Okay, print XX.
X. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, whatever, just to, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, run it. So we are not closing the connection.
Okay, I got it.
Then run again. You see?
Okay, yeah, that's perfect. So now we can use our data now as
Yeah.
okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
This is what you're looking for. And we can.
I believe other people are lost if you're not here.
Hello, guys. Are we there?
Yeah. But yeah, okay. We can close from here.
Yeah. Since we have records, we can always go back to the videos and do
Yeah.
step by step. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very
So,
much.
so thank you, everyone. I know at some point it was hard, but yeah, there is no shortcut.
It
Okay.
was very interesting and we needed it. Yeah.
Yeah. You have the notebooks, you can pass through them, all the codes. So, and to be honest, I can tell you if you followed these sessions of SQL and Python, don't be shy of applying for a data analyst, or maybe you can do an internship to see what they do, but they 98% they do what we've been doing. Okay, so you can start your data analyst journey. You can try to apply for internships, or just even do your work. If you're at work, you can try everything we've learned. You are very well prepared. So the next training, I believe it will be on Power BI, where you learn how to visualize. But with this, you are good to go. Usually, even the, other things, you can learn them at work. So thank you, everyone. I appreciate. Goodbye.
Thank you very much too. Goodbye. You